Also, make it clear to everyone, how many people did you physically kill yourself?
Huh?
I'm involved in, and I'll get into it today.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we're going to talk about Gotti's assassin and the very dangerous man that he's killed. And we're going to talk about his little escapades in Brazil. I got a couple videos I'm going to show you guys. We're going to have fun with it. Ray, Jedi, what's up? Reality Report, how you doing? So we got a lot of fun things to go over, a lot of funny things to go over. And remember, this is satire. This is pure entertainment. I have nothing against these people personally. I just think they're full of shit. So, and remember, if you want to donate to the show, you can hit up the Cash App at Chatting with Staxx, or you can hit up Venmo, PayPal, Super Stickers, Super Chats, all that stuff. And I appreciate every single person that donates to the show. We got a really funny one for you guys today. Here, let's take another look at that video. Mike, what's up, man? Shorty Mac, what's up?
Into it today. Burke.
Also, make it clear to everyone, how many people did you physically kill yourself?
Huh?
I'm involved in, and I'll get into it today.
Thomas, what's up?
You watch. You piece of you scumbag, you do that to me. You fucking piece of shit, bro.
Because you're wearing Ric Flair's stolen jewelry, Ric Flair's stolen jewelry, and I told them.
That's not. You're
It
a
is.
piece of shit, bro.
Wow!
Happy Valentine's Day. Shout out to everyone for yesterday on Valentine's Day. I hope you guys had a good one. Now, let's get into this first video. It's quite funny.
The UK. They just did a show with me in the UK, and they talked about exactly how dangerous the jails were there and how they survived through me in those prisons. And
through him, you know, because he was protecting everybody in there. That was his job. He was the muscle in the whole prison.
Prisons in Brazil?
Yeah, I was in 3 different penitentiaries.
In Brazil?
Forgive Cyclops.
3 different prisons in Brazil.
Yeah.
What was that like? Like, can you give me just one insane, one specific story about him?
Yeah, they put him in the hole, and he had no contact with anyone. There you go. There's the whole story.
Brazil prison experience.
So, you know, when guys say to them, you know, you watch movies at concentration camps, and
yeah,
you watch movies in the army, and it's no different than that. We were in a Brazilian penitentiary, and when they come crashing through those doors during the riots, and they come in with ski masks, and I'm talking about military police, the SWAT teams in those countries.
Yeah, you think Johnny Sabretooth would survive? He wouldn't survive in Britain, Scotland. He would not survive in a Connecticut state prison. A lot of people think Connecticut state prison is sweet or something, but trust me, I can tell you it is not. But this guy, he's living in a fantasy world.
They'll strip us down. We're all naked, guns to our heads. You know, you beat up a little bit, you pistol whipped a little bit, depending if you're the wrong inmate and the wrong cop. But guys are getting beat up all over. The guys are getting raped within the jails from the guards.
But not him. Not him. They didn't do that to him. Because he was killing guards in there, you know. He had no problem protecting himself in a foreign country.
And we're brought into some occasions we're brought into a dark, like a gymnasium, but there's no lights. And it's probably 120 degrees in there, 115 degrees. And some of these guys that were with me in the UK are starting to come out and speaking because they didn't like what Gotti tried to project about the prisons that we were in. And he tried to underplay how many killings were in these jails. And I'm talking about dozens of them.
Why would he try to do that?
And listen, there definitely was killings in those prisons, but he wasn't involved in any of them. He was a high level. When he got caught, right? The news was all over him. They didn't keep him with all the other inmates. If they did, they would have ripped him apart. He acts like he walked in there and they all just parted and they all just said, "Oh God, he's a mobster." Definitely not the case. He wouldn't survive 1 minute in Belfast. I believe you. Rah, what's up, Pink Panther? How you doing?
I don't know. I guess you're gonna have to ask him that if you ever do an interview with anybody. And you know, these things like we're doing here, they're not. You know this obviously. You can ask any question you want. I don't prearrange them.
Right.
I talk just from the heart. I talk out of experience. So he's not able to do that because he lied so often, and he talks out of school, and he doesn't realize there's guys all over the world that were in those prisons with us, that we all stay in touch with each other. We just had a reunion.
You were the guys you were like the feet on the ground guys. You guys were in the trenches together.
Yeah, and
you were parting the sea in the prison, right? You were the one handling the business. Listen, they're not letting a foreigner come into another country and run shit. It's not gonna happen. This guy's living a fantasy world. He watched too many fucking movies. I believe the prisons that he went to were dangerous, but they didn't put him with these other inmates. They didn't put him with those people.
You know, you got guys from Turkey that were with us, Spain that were with us, Denmark that were with us, a couple Italian guys from Italy that were with us. So when someone talks like he does, and he tries to bullshit the public a little bit, these guys just came out of the woodwork, and we're looking to do some shows now on the Brazilian penitentiaries that we were in, some of the riots, some of the things that I just spoke about, the rapes, an inmate being hung and accused of committing a crime he didn't commit. So, excuse me, I got it.
No, it's okay. You can, if you need to answer, you can answer.
No, I don't need.
Okay.
So you have guys coming out of the woodwork, and
someone's calling them to say, "Stop fucking lying, John." Oh, this is too funny. It gets good.
Be with some of the things that were said, and they
William, what's up, man?
At the same time, they're starting to do podcast shows about their experience in these prisons, how they survived them, how they credited me for some of the violence I committed in those prisons to save them, and some of the stabbings I did, and some of the killings they witnessed, some of the rapes they witnessed.
Wait, what? They witnessed it? Some of the killings you did in this prison, John? Come on, John. You were an American citizen in a Brazilian prison. It was documented, okay? You were friends with John Gotti Jr. So that's the reason why you had any type of publicity over there. Once they caught you, it was all over the news, all over the newspaper there. They did not put you in population. If you can prove this, I really would like to see the proof.
And the conditions of rats all over the cells, and poison and mosquitoes like crazy. Some of the people they seen die because we were so below in a cage that was like, I guess, like the old days torture chamber.
Vegas Pete, what's up, man?
Chambers almost of the castles you see in the movies. You really can't understand because these these prisons, like a state senator from Brazil said he wouldn't want to spend a day there. He'd rather die first. So these are documented, well documented. The torture was well documented, and the murders after it from prisons. After guys were getting killed and tortured, they were sending guys out from the street to kill those same guards that were torturing, raping.
Really?
So the guards and the police officers started wearing masks, black ski masks, so people would know their face. But some of the organizations in Brazil that were very violent on the street started ringing their doorbells. When they answered them, they were shooting them in the head to try to get even for what they were doing in the prison system.
Because of you, right? They did that because of him. They went to the guards' houses because of Eli and his treatment in there. I can't wait till he gets to the part where he killed these guards.
I mean, this is all CNN documented stuff, and I was in some of the prisons they talk about.
Yeah, CNN documented it. But you weren't in population, John. They kept you away from the dangerous people.
And some of the guys that we meet with we're discussing, obviously, a TV series about it. And these guys from these countries saw some of the things, obviously, were involved in what I was involved in. And I got off course when we were in those rooms. It was probably 500 guys, 600 guys in a caged-in room, nowhere to shit, nowhere to piss, and all of us as selectively would select one place in the corner, no toilet paper, no shirts because we're naked.
Yeah.
And we're brought in there, like I said, like a concentration camp. And you're stepping in, walking on piss and shit, but we try to limit it to one corner because we're there from some mornings when they do these attacks on the inmates. We're there from 6 in the morning, say, till 10 at night. There's nowhere to sit, nowhere, you're standing. And you're suffering, and guys are passing out, and guys, some guys in some occasions were dying from the air quality, couldn't breathe. And I mean, these are no secrets to the international world of what went on in some of these jails that we were in. And it's no secret because it was documented in TV shows with CNN and news, Associated Press across the world. And some of these guys got in touch with me. Thank you to Gotti.
Really?
I got to say thank you to Gotti for that because they didn't know how to get in touch with me. And when we were in the media, they seen it, they reached out and got a hold of some of them, got a hold of my daughter and said, we need to speak to your father. He saved our life.
Really?
He saved our life in a Brazilian prison. He took the guards out. Wait, yeah, he pulled the knife out of his arse, right? An 8-inch blade. And did some John Wick shit in the shower, right? Ice pick to his face. Deadly weapon. Let's hear it.
Prison. And she said to me, Dad, do you know who Justin is? And do you know who O is? And she started giving me names. And I said, yeah, why? And she said, I didn't know if it was real or not. They reached out to me on Facebook and said, your dad saved our life and we want to talk to him. So this is some of the guys. And we're very, we never forget each other because we went through hell with each other. And we had a certain bond. And that one of our reunions was just last week in the UK. And we discussed with a guy who was played Captain America, actually, in the UK, Fabrizio Santini. And we talked to him about maybe getting involved in a project with us and my life story and some of the things that we're thinking about doing. So, out of things that are bad, sometimes things...
A lot of positive.
A lot of positive. I mean, you got to make it positive.
Here we go with the name dropping. He needs to do that. Needs a name drop. Lucky Luciano and the rest of them.
And really, that's the bottom line. Why I really don't care for Gotti too much is because he's a guy that wants to sit and shit, right?
Who else does he mention all the time? Fat Andy, right? Because he knew his rat son. Like, who gives a shit?
And he doesn't want to turn things around and do something positive. And
he never had no dealings with Fat Andy. He only had dealings with his rat son.
If he started talking well and talking to children and talking to kids about not being in the life maybe or not being in the street, you can sell your own bullshit story all you want. I mean, we can't change who we were and what we did. That's not going to change, obviously. So
no, you're going to embrace it. He's going to embrace the violence. He wants you to believe this bullshit. He can't just be real. Just be honest about what was happening. Be honest that you were terrified in Brazil. Like he acts like he walked in there and they parted the Red Sea for him because he was such a dangerous individual. I'm not afraid of you, John. And there's plenty of other people who are not afraid of you. You come on the internet and you spew all this bullshit. And I don't believe you, man. I hate to break it to you, but I don't believe you. And there's plenty of other people that don't believe you.
We got to live with that, but let's sell something different to the kids now.
Yeah, let's sell something different to the kids. All the violence you committed, right? That's what you're trying to sell to the kids.
Yeah. You know, kids that are suffering, or, you know, there's kids that I know, real tough street kids that talk to me, send me messages. They're involved in the street, and I try to talk them out of the street.
Yeah,
they laugh.
That's hard to do, right?
Well, you know what? Because maybe they're not ready. Some of them are. I mean, I get dozens of letters out of prisons all the time, guys. Commending me for what I do, and
yeah, commending you for all the violence you speak. I'll be right back.
Because they didn't know how to get in touch with me, and when we were in the media, they seen it. They reached out and got a hold of some of them. Got a hold of my daughter and said, "We need to speak to your father. He saved our life."
Really?
In prison, and she said to me, "Dad, do you know who Justin is? And do you know who O is?" And she started giving me names, and I said, "Yeah, why?" And she said, "I didn't know if it was real or not. They reached out to me on Facebook and said, your dad saved our life, and we want to talk to him." So this is some of the guys, and we're very, we never forget each other because we went through hell with each other, and we had a certain bond, and that one of our reunions was just last week in the UK. And we discussed with a guy who was played Captain America, actually, in the UK, Fabrizio Santini. And we talked to him about maybe getting involved in a project with us. And,
hey, Jimmy,
and my life story and some of the things that we're thinking about doing. So, added things that are bad sometimes.
I appreciate
a lot
that.
of positive.
A lot of positive. I mean, you got to make it positive. And really, that's the bottom line. I really don't care for Gotti too much, is because he's a guy that wants to sit and shit, right? He doesn't want to turn things around and do something positive. And if he started talking well and talking to children and talking...
What the fuck does it matter to him what Gotti does? What is any of his business what Gotti got going on? He's such a fanboy and so jealous of Gotti Jr., it's not even funny.
He realized at first. And after the shooting, we went out drinking. I shot...
That's what you want to promote, right? This type of shit. This type of behavior is the type of behavior you want to promote to the kids. To convince them how tough you are. It's really disgusting.
One guy for Ralph Ferrante on 80th Street, Mike's Pub in front. Shot two guys in front of Mondello's for Michael Catapano. They were baseball batting him. He batted a guy to death in front of Old Brother Inn with three guys.
But he survived.
It's about not being in the life, maybe, or not being in the street. You can sell your own bullshit story all you want. I mean,
but he's going to sell his. Don't worry. You could sell your bullshit story because he's going to sell his.
We can't change who we were and what we did. That's not going to change, obviously. So we got to live with that. But let's sell something different to the kids now.
Yeah.
Kids that are suffering, or, there's kids that I know, real tough street kids that talk to me, send me messages. They're involved in the street, and I try to talk them out of the street.
Yeah,
they laugh.
That's hard to do, right?
Well, you know what? Because maybe they're not ready. Some of them are. He wanted to a vegetable. I don't know if he's still a vegetable.
Wait. Did you hear what he just said? Did you hear that? Listen to this.
Shooting, actually. I don't think Tony actually realized at first. And after the shooting, we went out drinking. I shot one guy for Ralph Ferrante on 80th Street, Mike's Pub in front. Shot two guys in front of Mondello's for Michael Catapano. They were baseball batting him. He batted a guy to death in front of Old Brother Inn with three guys. He wanted to a vegetable. I don't know if he's still a vegetable or whatever.
He baseball batted a guy to death. He went into a vegetable He doesn't know if he's still in a vegetable, but he survived. What? What? I think you're getting your words a little mixed up there, Johnny boy.
They're in with 3 guys. He went into a vegetable. I don't know if he's still a vegetable or whatever. He shot one guy for.
Listen to what he said. He said he baseball batted a guy to death. He went into a vegetable. He doesn't know if he's still a vegetable, though. So what happened to the death shit?
Ralph Ferrante.
Real humanitarian, right? Definitely. I commend your effort, John.
On 80th Street, Mike's Pub in front. Shot 2 guys in front of Mondello's for Michael Catapano. They were baseball batting him. He batted a guy to death in front of Old Brother Inn with 3 guys. He went into a vegetable. I don't know if he's still a vegetable or whatever. It's been 30 years.
Save the bullshit, John.
I get dozens of letters out of prisons all the time, guys, commending me for what I do. And there's guys that are in prisons that are never going to change, but say, tell me, keep doing your thing. So, there's a lot of positive guys out there in the prison system that believe in what I'm doing. And I guess the negative people are always going to be negative. I can't change that.
Listen, I'm very positive. I'm all about change, but I'm about transparency and you not bullshitting. You not bullshitting these people and trying to pretend like you're this fucking Rambo that you weren't. Because when I first came on the internet, I didn't know if this shit was real either. But a lot of people believe the shit that they see on the internet. So you just said that you baseball batted a guy to death, but he went into a coma. So what is it? Did you baseball bat him to death? Or is he in a coma? How many guys did you really kill, John?
And someone who has kind of been handed everything they have. And
if you want to see this whole video, it's in the description of this video. I'm not a hater. I share videos. This whole video is in the description if you guys want to go check out this dude's channel.
Never really had to suffer for it or really work for it. It's just it's something that you can't really teach. They're just different. You know what I mean? There's a different breed. When you've had to go through hell and you've had to earn everything that you have, there's a disconnect there between someone else who's just been given everything. I'm not saying that you guys are he's that or you're the
I
opposite.
know what you're saying.
I'm just saying it's.
Listen, I can tell you this. At my age and growing up in jails the way I did, I was a young kid the first time I went out.
Growing up in jails, you ratted to get out of jail. When it was time to be a gangster, you fucking folded. So what are you talking about? And you blame it on Gotti Jr. and why you cooperated. You got chased from New York right after Gotti's wedding. And then you went and cooperated because you thought he was testifying. But you guys had a plan that it was okay for them to tell on you for the drugs, but not the murders, right?
I met some tough guys in prison. So when guys think they're tough out in the street, you can think you're tough all you want. When you get into all these prisons, there's so many tough guys in there. There's so many dangerous guys in there. There's so many killers in there.
Listen, you could be all this badass shit when you're in prison, right? I've been to prison. People have a different perspective on people in prison. But people in prison don't think like that. They're not like all these killers in prison. Yes, there's killers in prison, but they're not like they're the baddest dudes on the earth. Because right when you walk out of that door, you're just like everybody else. So this guy's playing a fucking role. He plays it pretty well, but he doesn't fool me.
You're nothing in there, just like anybody else. You're just another number. You're another guy trying to get through the day. And
I thought you were a killer in there, Johnny boy. I thought they were parting the Red Sea for you.
The reality of the real tough guys in prison, the real street guys in prison, the guys that say to themselves, I don't want to see my kid ever spend a day here, because we understand what it is. So the guys that say anything different than that, you let me know who he is. When you see some jack off on the internet and they're writing some dumb shit about the code, I'm gonna tell that fucking guy that's writing about the code. First off, you never lived the code. You don't have.
This guy never lived the code. He doesn't know what a fucking code is if it bit him in the ass. He thought he was Italian for a long time. Then all of a sudden, he wants to be Albanian. Listen, on St. Patrick's Day, he wants to be Irish. This guy is a fucking chameleon. He wants to be a gangster in the street, right? But when it's time to do the time, he doesn't want to be a gangster no more. He wants to cooperate with the government. Then he gets out. Now he wants to be a gangster again on YouTube. Couldn't be a gangster in the street. So now you want to be one on YouTube. How ironic.
Idea what our life's about.
Because there's definitely going to be comments on this talking shit.
You always get dummies that talk shit. You can't stop that.
Yeah, the cubicle life. People that hate their lives, they just want to.
Well, they want 10 seconds of attention, so you can give it to them. But if they want that attention like that, well, go jump in, get to jail, and we're going to see how tough you are and see if you're talking.
I've been there and done that, John. I've been there and done that. All that tough guy shit is for the birds. You think it makes you look like some macho man or some shit because you baseball batted this one to death, but he went into a vegetable. You can't even get your fucking lies right.
They don't have the nuts to do that.
But what I was getting at is these inmates that are in jail, and there's thousands and thousands right across the country, every country.
Listen, there's fucking dorks in jail. There's tough guys in jail, but there's dorks in jail too. Every type of person is in prison. Look at this guy.
Make it clear to everyone.
This big gangster too. He loves prison. He'll be back soon.
Burke. Also, make it clear to everyone. How many people did you physically kill yourself?
Huh?
I'm involved in, and I'll get into it today. You're not going to find one that's going to send a message out different that to their own children. They don't want their kids living this life. So, if we could all talk to kids.
They don't want their kids living this life. What life are you talking about, John? The life you live now? The gangster you portray now? Is that what you're talking about? Of course they don't want their kids to look up to a person like you. Why the fuck would they want their kids to look up to a person that tells stories like this?
Stabbed the guy in the neck who lived in Fort Lauderdale in front of everybody in the club. I got pinched right at the scene.
Yeah, I want my kid to watch these videos and look up to you so that they don't join the life.
I mean, that list can go on. So, when people are talking about workers or somebody's telling me about Tommy Karate or this, I don't give a fuck about anybody, honestly.
What? Now, this guy thinks he's tougher than Tommy Karate. Tommy Karate stood on business. He's in prison for the rest of his life. There's nothing you can say about Tommy Karate.
Guys and I'm talking about inmates that are on death row, inmates that are in supermax jails. If you ask any of them, there's none of them are going to say, "Oh, this is a great life. I want my kid in the street."
Right.
So, we did what we did. They did what they did. I'm in a position whether somebody likes me or dislikes me, I can't change that. And when someone says, "Well, this guy hurt so many guys," "Oh, he's full of shit. He didn't hurt that many." I really don't give a fuck. So these are guys that are, bullshit bitch guys that talk like this, and they're not tough guys, they're not men, and when they're talking
hey John, you won't confront me, you won't even come on the screen to have a conversation. Who's the bitch?
I want to tell that same big mouth that says something different or the code, go put your fucking kid on the street.
All right.
If that's what you believe, tough guy, go put. But I'm going to tell you something else.
Listen, I'm not a gangster. I don't believe in the code. I'm not in that life. I never claimed to be a gangster. I never claimed to be a tough guy. I just don't believe your bullshit.
Guys, because there's a lot on the street and in jail. They're not going to be writing on your computer about it in this show.
Hell no.
This is just jerk-offs that talk like that.
Yeah.
And real street guys aren't going to be on YouTube pretending to be fucking gangsters either.
That's true. That's true.
He batted Johnny Cabot into a coma, but he survived. He batted him to death, but he survived.
That's a fact. Now you said, how much time did you do in solitary?
The whole time. But he's not going to tell you that.
Probably did. I never counted day for day, but I've done probably about 7 years in solitary confinement. I didn't see a yard.
Not continuous. That was just total.
I was in and out of them, but well, I'll tell you what. I was in.
Listen, how long was he in Brazilian prison? Because that's how long he spent in solitary confinement.
In Brazil penitentiary for 2.5 years. I'd seen a yard once a month, naked, in my underwear at best, no shoes, nothing, on rocks. And it's not a yard like you see a yard. I'm not talking about a yard. I'm talking about high security, gun patrols. They're up in the towers, dogs all over you, and it's, I guess, the size of a basketball court at best.
So where'd you get the knife from, John? Where'd you get the knife you pulled out of your ass and killed 2 guards? They're high security, walking around with guns, right? And you kill guards and they don't shoot you? Nothing? Come on.
I got that once a month. Otherwise, I was caged in. I never left the cells.
Oh, wait. He just said he never left the cells. But before he said he was in a room with 500 people shitting in the corner. So what is it? His story's not adding up.
With 54 guys that fit 12 guys, sometimes higher than that in the 60s. It rained inside the cells. They had water that went up to our knees at points during the storms. There was blackouts, complete no lights. So, you know, that was the conditions. When I came to Florida, I was out on the tiers for a while, but you're on tiers that you don't go out to a yard. You
what
go
does that
into
mean?
Another cage.
Tiers?
Tiers are your double-level tiers in Florida prisons,
Oh.
And you don't really leave that pod. Then I went into solitary cells for a couple of years, and then I was in MCC, forced into a unit where there's 9 cells on the floor, and you're not leaving those cells. And you're stuck there 24 hours, and you go up on a basketball court at night for about an hour, 3 days a week.
Yeah, they let the rats go up there at night for an hour. He was in a cell. Mr. Rambo was in a cell for 23 hours a day after he cooperated. But do you honestly think? I thought he was running the prison. He said that he was the man there. He was with all these people. He was doing this and that. Now he says that he spent 7 years in solitary confinement. So what is it?
I never seen an actual yard. So that was 10 years of that.
He never seen an actual yard. This guy can't get his story straight. He can't. He's all over the place. He baseball batted that one to death, but he survived.
The idea of me constantly going by names on this stuff is so people understand. I don't talk in innuendos. I talk specifics. I talk names.
And these ain't guys that, let me just tell you how usually a mob hit goes.
Yeah, Mr. Non-Made Man. Mr. Non-Made Man that never killed anyone. Please tell us how a mob hit goes. Let's hear this bullshit.
Where it's your friend killing your friend, and you're sitting in a car, and the guy gets in the car. He doesn't even know he's getting shot in the back of the head. Your crimes are you're hunting the guy down. He might know you're coming. I was in similar situations.
You never killed anyone, Gino. Eugene. Stop the bullshit. The only thing you ever killed is a fucking door jam.
I'm gonna fucking murder you. You watch. You piece of shit. You scumbag, you do that to me. You fucking piece of shit, bro.
Because you're wearing Ric Flair's stolen jewelry, Ric Flair's stolen jewelry, and I told them.
That's not. You're
It
a
is.
piece of shit, bro.
I heard he was gonna sue me for saying all that he stole Ric Flair's jewelry. You better sue your fucking girlfriend.
Beef. It's not where, hey, John, let's go take a ride upstate, and all of a sudden you get shot in the back of the head.
No. I mean, I'm involved. Well, you know, listen, guys.
To the door.
I did this to the door. I pushed the door in. Fixing you, but I'm gonna fix it. I did this to the door. You, but I'm gonna fix it. I pushed the door in. 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 I did this to the door. Yes, I pushed the door in.
And his card is on file here.
Yours.
Your card's on file because he doesn't have one. Let's hear it from the mobster.
That know me also know I've been stabbed up a couple of times.
Right.
I've been battered a couple of times. Guys try to kill me plenty of times. I talk about Fabi and Anthony Tabita and Cookie and these guys a lot because I had such admiration for these guys. Cookie survived the headshot. And
So you have an admiration for guys that beat the shit out of you? You don't talk about that, though, right?
to that, I was in and out of solitary confinement for fights, 6 months at a time, 8 months. I did about a year straight at another time. So yeah, I spent my fair share of time in solitary confinement. And listen, I'm no different because you'll hear guys complaining about it. But when you're a high-profile inmate, which I...
Oh, wait, when you're a high-profile inmate, I thought you were in general population, John.
I was chased down by Interpol in every country. And when you're killing guys and hurting guys, I'm no different than a lot of these guys. We're all going to the same thing. So what I'm saying is, it's not a life to live like a dog in a cage.
Right.
So now he's a dog in a cage getting chased down by Interpol. He's a high-profile inmate, right, on solitary confinement. But earlier in this interview, he said he was with all these fucking people. 500 plus people in one room.
Solitary confinement for fights, 6 months at a time, 8 months. I did about a year straight at another time. So yeah, I spent my fair share of time in solitary confinement. And listen, I'm no different because you'll hear guys complaining about it. But when you're a high-profile inmate, which I was chased down by Interpol in every country. And when you're killing guys and hurting guys, I'm no different than a lot of these guys. We're all going to the same thing. So what I'm saying is, it's not a life to live like a dog in a cage.
Right.
And showering and with a camera watching you, and you're on these secure cells. So there's cameras in the room. You take a shit, they're watching you.
Yeah.
You feel horny that day and you want to jerk off, they're watching you. So this is the life that you chose to lead. Yeah. So when a guy talks out of school, and you're going to get dummies that talk like that all the time, they have no idea about how I lived and a lot of inmates just like me.
No one's saying go to prison, be a tough guy, go to prison. They're saying don't bullshit. Don't bullshit these people. Don't bullshit these kids and make them seem like you were a fucking crazy psycho killer, like you were Gotti's hitman, which you never were. The Gotti said you had no dealings with these people. You slept over Junior's house. That's it. So, like, you can't just accept reality.
I shot Mike Pipp in Flight 116 and 3 of his friends with a .22 50-shot Ruger rifle. With guy Tony was in the car, and Mickey. Mickey was unaware I was going to do the shooting, actually. I don't think Tony actually realized at first. And after the shooting, we went out drinking. I shot one guy for Ralph Ferrante on 80th Street, Mike's Pub in front. Shot 2 guys in front of Mondello's for Michael Catapano. They were baseball batting him. I batted a guy to death in front of Old Brother Inn with 3 guys. He went to a vegetable. I don't know if he's still a vegetable or whatever. It's been 30 years. I stabbed a guy in the neck who lived in Fort Lauderdale in front of everybody in the club. I got pinched right at the scene. I mean, that list can go on. So, when people are talking about where
he got pinched right at the scene. I thought he never got caught for a crime. Didn't he say that on another interview? He never's been caught for a crime. It was all Gotti telling him, right? And then he just said he got pinched at the scene. What the fuck is he talking about? This guy can't get it straight. He can't. Because once you start lying, you start digging yourself a hole because you're trying to cover one lie with another. And that's what this guy does.
So somebody's telling me about Tommy Karate or this. I don't give a fuck about anybody, honestly.
He doesn't care about Tommy Karate, the stand-up guy who went to prison and is still there. He doesn't think Tommy Karate was the real killer. He was the real killer.
And the idea of me constantly going by names on this stuff is so people understand. I don't talk in innuendos. I talk specifics. I talk names.
And these ain't guys that Let me just tell you how usually a mob hit goes.
Yeah, let's hear it from the non-made man, from the guy that wasn't in the mob, that never killed anybody. Please tell us, Gene. The only thing you ever killed is a fucking door jam, bro.
Where it's your friend killing your friend, and you're sitting in a car, and the guy gets in the car. He doesn't even know he's getting shot in the back of the head. Your crimes are you're hunting the guy down. He might know you're coming. I was in similar situations. It's a real street beef. It's not where, hey John, let's go take a ride upstate.
Yeah, real street beef you were in, huh? Real street beefs with women.
Little fucking midget mafia, Joey Molino got something to say about me. Joey, you're 4'2". I see you in Tampa, I'll slap you around. Okay, you're the boss of 3 guys, the Philadelphia Mafia. If you actually be a member of your family, I'd rather be a Latin king. Okay? Get lost, you're an active mob boss on YouTube, you're a fucking clown turd.
I did this to the door. I pushed the door in.
You're a dirty hoe. That's what you are. Hey, look, tell everybody how you fucked 100 guys. Tell everybody that on YouTube. Tell everybody that. Tell everybody you fucked your neighbor. Matter of fact, let me go talk to Andrew.
I know we have, I can't really get in touch with you, so the bullshit we going through is fucking stupid ass fighting.
I'm stabbing every single one of them.
That your mob hit? Is that the mob hit you did, Gino? Come on, Eugene, tell the truth.
And all of a sudden he gets shot in the back of the head.
No. I mean, I'm involved. Well, listen, guys that know me also know I've been stabbed up a couple of times.
Right.
I've been battered a couple of times. Guys try to kill me plenty of times. I talk about Fabi and Anthony Tabita and Cookie and these guys a lot because I had such admiration for these guys. Cookie survived the headshot and a shot to the neck. His cousin got killed. So, I try to talk to these kids about legitimate tough guys like these guys that put in work, that got shot themselves, survived, a gentleman, changed their lives.
Gene definitely needs medication, 100%. This guy's out of his fucking mind. He'll end up in prison in no time, mark my words. Seems I'm always right about this shit.
I'm gonna fucking murder you. You watch. You piece of shit. You scumbag, you do that to me. You're a fucking piece of shit, bro.
Because you're wearing Ric Flair's stolen jewelry, Ric Flair's stolen jewelry, and I told them.
That's not. You're a
It
fucking
is.
piece of shit, bro.
Real gangster. That's some real mob shit, if I ever seen it.
True tough guys. We like each other now. We're friends with each other. We respect each other. And that's part of moving on with your life. They were capable of moving on with their lives like we're moving on with our life.
I don't think Gene's moving on from the bullshit. I honestly don't. I think he's stepping deeper into it. I mean, everyone knows he's a rat. He already ratted out his friends for writing a letter for court. He ratted out people when the FBI took his phone down in Florida. He ratted out everyone involved between the steroids and him buying Xanax for his girlfriend. We know about all that shit. So I don't think Gene really changed at all. He's just putting on this persona. Woo.
When people are talking about, this guy didn't do this or this guy didn't do that, it's very important for people out there to know.
I believe you did shit, John. I believe you lie. That's what I believe you do. Fucking lie.
I'm not these guys that are on radio or TV that are talking nonsense, but never talk specific. They're good storytellers, or they're talking about things that they never did, and they're trying to, I guess, glamorize this to the kids that are on the street.
Right.
And what I want to do is talk about guys like Ray that has a movement that we had on the show of God, religion, doing the right thing, or Christian that was on the show, or other gang members like Chuck, ex-Latin King, that was on the show. I want to talk about positive people that are on the show that I respect.
It seems like you're doing a great job with Gene. I mean, you're such a positive role model. I mean, look, this is his recent class picture from graduating. I mean, you're doing a great job with him. He's going to be where he should belong, exactly where he belongs. And you guys and your little Boy Scout goof troop can just run off into the subset with your fucking badges, with your gangster badges.
And I'm also want to show guys that will get down guys that we've had on the show, because we got a message. The message isn't about all these shootings and killings I did before. And I can go on with more. I baseball batted 3 guys at Princeton Diner. Well, I didn't bat them. I hit them with pipes and with bottles. 3 guys I was by
He piped them. He piped 3 guys at the diner.
myself. The 3 guys I batted the old brother in by myself. Chris.
How many times did he just say that in one sentence? He said it like 3 fucking times.
I did before. And I can go on with more. I baseball batted 3 guys at Princeton Diner. Well, I didn't bat them. I hit them with pipes and with bottles. 3 guys I was by myself. The 3 guys I batted the old brother in.
He just said he didn't hit him with bats, and then he said I batted him. So what is it? I'm confused.
Because we got a message. The message isn't about all these shootings and killings I did before. And I can go on with more. I baseball batted 3 guys at Princeton Diner. Well, I didn't bat them. I hit them with pipes and with bottles. 3 guys I was by myself. The 3 guys I batted the old brother in by myself. Krasinowski brothers by myself. Keegan brother after he was abusing Joe O'Kane and his girlfriend, and he came to my house. And it's one of the guys I regret, actually, because Joe O'Kane overall was a coward. He set up his friend Joey Stabile to get killed.
Breaking news. Study shows that chronic use of Vaseline leads to delusional state of mind for multiple ex-mob rats. Also reported were using baseball bats. Salami sticks were used in sexual ways. Oh, man. I can't. My stomach hurts. Listen. These guys deliver pure entertainment. I gotta give them that. Like, this is great.
And Joe ends up getting killed in Kane prison. He gets stabbed up. He came to testify at that time for Gotti Jr. with a broken jaw because he was warned not to testify for a guy that's ratting. But these are the history of, for people that are out there and want to know. And they can ask any question about any of these shootings I'm talking about, any of these guys I hurt, stabbed up, batted, and the list can keep going on. I batted the Ricky Nicosia brother-in-law on 79th Street. Actually, Gotti Jr. was with me on that. One of the rare ones where he actually did come and do something. And me and my brother batted and piped the guy off Cooper Road and Route 73. After
they piped the guy.
He jumped out of the car to bat us. And we took the bat off him. And I'm not sure how bad he was. He was left for dead, too. Here's one of the things. And when I was in Brazil, guys, and I didn't get into the guys in Brazil that I stabbed up or killed.
Yeah, we got to hear this. Now, come on, John. Let's hear it. We got to hear it, Mr. High-profile inmate that was chased down by Interpol, but they left you in a cell with hundreds of people, right?
In the pen, there's guys that we're filming on it. So the guys that were with me from other countries are filming about it now, what I did there. But the thing is, it's for the people that think it's easy to order these things than to do these things, right? And you hear both sides. I planned a lot of these murders, obviously. I didn't, shoot everybody and kill everybody, but...
Let me guess. Georgie Grasso, right? Come on, man. Listen, I don't care. If this motherfucker put his hands on any one of my family members, I don't care if it was my uncle, my second uncle, my third cousin, he would be hunted down. There's no way he committed this much violence and didn't have reprisals. There's no way. I would like him to prove some of this shit.
Most of them, I'd say 85% of them, I was the guy doing the work. Now, did I order some? Yeah. Did I set them up? Yes. Is it the same thing as the guys that are going there and doing the work? Obviously not. You know, when I'm getting down doing the work, there's a lot of planning, and there's a lot of things to do things correctly if you're on the street. And, you know, planning it and sitting at home and smoking my cigar while or sitting in a penitentiary in jail while my cousin hit Gebbit for me isn't the same thing.
What? Gebbit? I thought you killed Gebbit. Come on, John.
As me, you know, tracking, let's use Ricky Stratton. So we're going to go into a shooting. And when these guys, by the way, are all 4 brother-in-laws, whether they're related directly or through another brother-in-law, they're all brother-in-laws.
They're all brother-in-laws, so, and they didn't come after you baseball batted their family member. Is that what you're telling me? How many people believe this shit? Raekwon, what's up? Ivan, what's going on? Yimmy Yayo, how are you? Mike, what's good? Thomas, Chris, Vegas, Pete, Liberty, what's good? Hit that like button.
And they plotted on killing me. And obviously I killed all 4 of them.
Wait, what? Oh, man. He killed all 4 of them. This guy is fucking living a fucking dream.
2, I was the shooter, 2 of them I wasn't. There's a big difference of me being the shooter on 2 than me not being the shooter on 2. Now I have some loyalty. I had a ton of guys that work for me.
No shit. You know what the difference is? You're not shooting. You know what the difference is between the truth and falsehoods? You're lying. And it's painfully obvious. You baseball batted this one to death, right? To death. He survived. You can't make this shit up. But if you guys like this content, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And there's a lot more on the way. Trust me, Eugene ain't done. He's just getting started. Mr. Mob Hitman for the Banana family. But if you like this, hit the like button, subscribe. If you want to donate to the show, hit up the Cash App at Chattin with Staxx or Venmo, PayPal, Super Sticker, Super Chats, Zelle, all that good stuff. And I appreciate every single dollar that you guys donate. I appreciate everyone that watches the show. I got a lot of interviews that I'm dropping. Today, I'm dropping a whole bunch of content, so stay tuned for that. And if you like this content, you know what to do. And if you don't, too fucking bad. Start your own podcast. I appreciate all you guys. And remember, don't be a bitch.